Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Jeff Rahim Bronner. Saturday, mid-July 2014. Welcome. I miss you guys. I very much looking forward to coming back to Palo Alto next month. So I want to take care of some housekeeping duties first, and then I, inshallah, have a very good class planned for you. So I'm going to be changing the subscription to this online school. It's been, for those of you who are in, you got in for $97. That is good for life. That'll never change for any of you. And anyone who I offered that to, I will honor that probably for the next month. But starting next month, I'm going to be switching to a monthly subscription. I'm thinking probably $14 a month. And as long as someone pays their $14, they'll have access to all the classes that I'm filming and giving to people. So any friends you have that you might want to invite to join the school, probably for the next month, or at least for the next few weeks, anyone can get in for the $97. In my heart, it's still a $1,000 membership. I think it's actually worth more than that by the time we have 100, 200, 300 classes. But if there is anyone that you want to invite, excuse me, tell them now would be a great time to join. They can just email me, jeff@jeffbronner.com. We have a quick sip of water. I hope each of you are doing well. I'm getting some great feedback and great emails and thank yous for the classes. So alhamdulillah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let's start with Fatiha. Allahu Akbar. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. My beloved Lord, my beloved God, I call to you now on our behalf, and Allah, I ask that you help us. Help our hearts and help our spirits. Help us always be with you, my Lord. We love you very much. Amen. 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 So it is a beautiful summer morning here. Here in Western New York, we have about 10 weeks that is absolutely spectacular. Does it make up for the brutal 6-month winter? No, not in any way, shape, or form, but the summer is gorgeous. We're moving forwards on our plans to possibly move to North Carolina. We're trying to decide if it's going to be this fall or next year. I think it's probably going to be next year. But my daughter and I loved it. My wife is on board. There is something very special about the Smoky Mountains. There's a lot of quartz, those of you who like gems and minerals, very, very old quartz in the mountains. Asheville's been known as a healing community for a couple hundred years. And when I began praying about it and really sending my spirit there, I actually can feel very, very old jinn. For those of you who are new to Sufi vernacular, the word is J-I-N-N, jinn. Jinn is a non-physical race. There are good jinn and there are bad jinn. There are jinn who love Allah, help in healing, help in walking, and there are jinn, just like human beings, who make mischief and trouble. And our Sufi guide, Sidi al-Jamal, is a guide for the jinn as well as the human beings. And I've actually heard him speak jinn. It is quite a language, and unlike anything else I'd ever heard. But there are very, very old jinn. Jinn can live to be several thousand years old. And there are old jinn living in the mountains in and around Asheville. And I can feel them. It's an amazing experience. So inshallah, if our plans go the way they look like they're going, and we end up opening and building a retreat center there, I'm looking forward to working with some of the jinn there and asking their help and their support as people heal and grow and walk. So I have an update on weight loss. A number of you emailed me thanking me for the class. I was a little nervous doing it. We don't talk about weight loss very much in our Sufi Tariqa. I read a stat 2 days ago that 1/3 of America is now classified as obese. Isn't that just unbelievable to me? And it just shows you what our standard American diet, which is very sad, has done to the human body. Okay, the diet that most people follow, thinking they're eating a healthy diet, doesn't work for most people. So I have an update. I'm now about 14 days of no sugar, no grain. I slipped once or twice, but they were small slips. I have lost 8.5 pounds. But more importantly than the weight loss, I feel good. I feel better. I have energy. I played golf 2 times this week. I went swimming this morning. I'm starting to actually feel well enough to exercise again. And I haven't really put out, to very many people, but I've been sick. My wife has been sick with chronic fatigue for 20 years. The last 2 or 3 years has been the poorest health of my entire life. I think the stress of the restaurant, my mother passing away, the changes in the school, it's been a very stressful time for me. And when I'm stressed, I turn to food. And my weight ballooned all the way up to 250 pounds. I was miserable. So when I started this current rendition of my attempt to lose weight, which took me a few months to get there, you have to have your heart and your mind in the right place and say, you know what, I'm done messing around. I'd like to get my health back. And for me, for most people, the fastest way to regain your health is to drop the extra weight. So when I started, I was at 234.5. I'm now down to 226. Yeah, baby. My goal is to get down to 210. So I'm hopefully going to stay. I have a 30-day commitment to stay no sugar, no grain. Any of you who want or really encouraged and want to try and do this, I will send you the small guide that I've written, the Red Apple Diet. I'll send it to you for free as part of your membership with the school. Just email me, jeff@jeffbronner.com, and I'll make that available to you. But like I said, I feel good. And thank God, it feels so good to feel good. My breakfast is my big meal of the day. And trust me, this class is not going to be about weight loss. I just wanted to give you guys an update and catch up. So breakfast is my really big meal. I made myself my purple smoothie. That is almond milk, protein powder, and frozen blueberries. Absolutely delicious. If you decrease the amount of liquid, whether it's almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, it gets really slushy like a milkshake, and my NAFs and my inner child like that. And then I had a spinach and cheese omelet, 3 eggs, cheese, and spinach, and 2 large kosher hot dogs. That's a huge meal. No one would look at that meal and boy, you're really depriving yourself there, Rahim. So that's what I love about this diet. You get to eat as much as you want of protein, vegetables, and fruit. And I cheated a little bit with the cheese, but hey, alhamdulillah, you can't argue with the results. So this morning, there's a number of things I want to talk about. Excuse me. What I want to talk about is how do you find a picture? And specifically, how do you find a picture inside of relationships? I'm working with a number of couples right now. 2 of them are in real crisis. And one of them is quite volatile. I get texts and emails from the wife every other day. He's leaving, she's leaving, they're yelling, they're arguing, they're throwing things. It's quite volatile. And the other couple, who's been married for 10 years, they have 3 beautiful children. They have physically separated. At this point, he is quite eager and not desperate, but really yearning to have the marriage come back together. And she is gone. Now there's a chance she may come back. But what I want to talk about is how do you find a picture? How do you move out of blame and come back into self-responsibility? It is the single hardest thing to do in a marriage or in a relationship. And the one thing I want to say, and this goes for all couples, Sufis, non-Sufis, Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, doesn't matter. Blame, the energy of blame, will kill the love. Okay, if you're taking notes on this morning's class, I want you to write that down. Because it's true with your children, it's true with coworkers, any relationship. The energy of blame kills the love. Okay, and no one, we're not taught this. This is not taught in our schools, it's not taught in most families. Okay, if someone does something wrong, if someone makes a mistake, if someone has an error in judgment, what we're taught is you're justified in pummeling them. Okay, Sufism is different. Sufism teaches us to put nothing between us and God, and that everything actually comes from Allah. And, you know, the way I walk, like I don't ever really wonder about what my walking is. I just deal with my life. I deal with my beloved, with my daughter, with my business, with my neighbors, with whatever Allah brings to me, that's my walking. Okay, now when I go inside and I'm doing remembrance and tawbah and my prayers, I always look to Allah and ask sincerely, my beloved Lord, is there anything else you want me to work on? Is there anything else you want me to look at? Okay, I'm not perfect, but I try and bring myself to account before Allah every day. Our beloved guide Siddhi says that make every day your judgment day. Like have many judgment days every day in preparation for the 2 large judgment days. One right after you pass, when you have your life review, and then the larger judgment day when I believe the entire race of human beings will be judged on our thoughts and more importantly on our actions. So I really try and bring myself to account. And what that means for me is anything I am stuck on, anything I am upset about, anything that has happened or someone has done, let me define blame, because once you get this, it's going to radically shift your paradigm and your perception of reality. Okay, and this is just my own definition. Blame says you're responsible for what I feel. Okay, let me say that again. The way I define blame, blame says you're responsible for what I feel. So you did this and this and this. I feel this and it's your fault. Okay, and that right there, that energy of it's your fault, that kills the love between hearts. Okay, very few people are strong enough to stand up to what feels like daily criticism of their behavior, their actions, and just the way they're being. Okay, and now in my family, and ironically, what we have found in our tariqa, our healing group over the last 15 years, is that being in blame, being out of responsibility, number one contributor to major illness. Okay, and again, now you don't want to beat yourself up for being in blame. You want to just notice it and then work to correct it. So both my parents, Richard and Arlene, have died from cancer. My father died quite young, age 44 from lung cancer, non-smoker. I was only 18 years old. And my mother, Arlene, from breast and pancreatic cancer, her late 60s, 68, 69, just a couple years ago. And in my household, it's a little awkward to talk about because I love my parents, I respect them deeply. And part of the way I teach is I just make my life and my lessons transparent, and that's what I teach through. So my beloved knows this, my daughter knows this. We are kind of an open book, much to their chagrin. Both my parents were extremely critical, and I think in a pretty deep level, it was always someone else's fault. Towards the end of their life, the last 6 months, each of them really started to look inside and be like, all right, what's my part in this? Okay, and that is the magic key. Okay, for those of you taking notes, I want you to write this down. What is my part in this? Okay, that question will free you from blame and allow you to salvage and heal most of your relationships. Okay, even if it's 80% the other person, but you're 20% responsible for your reaction, what we want to do is we want to notice and get a safe place to dump and express all of our not holy emotions. And that usually means not to the person. So we process how upset, how hurt, how sad we are. And then eventually, it usually takes me about a half hour. Like if my wife and I are not getting along, and we have a beautiful marriage, okay? But a marriage is a crucible. And as City says, it's the melting pot where you are face to face, belly to belly, heart to heart, and forehead to forehead with your beloved. And you really literally will merge through each other. It is a merging process to walk all the way to Allah. Okay? Not easy. It's in some ways, normal human marriages from the nafs, from the ego, maybe from the heart are easier. But not always. Okay? I believe our work is incredibly effective for relationships. So it usually takes me 20 or 30 minutes of saying Allah, 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 or Astaghfirullah Lazim, where I'm processing my reactions to whoever it is or whatever it is. And then about 20 or 30 minutes in, this light bulb goes on and I go, right, let's come out of blame. Let's come back to myself. My beloved Lord, what is my part? That question will set you free. Okay, my part is usually collapse, being in judgment, being offended, having a part of my ego that has not washed, got insulted or got ruffled in some way, hard-heartedness, or a lot of times, like if it's me and my beloved who are wrestling a little bit, believe it or not, I get triggered. If she gives to me too much, I get triggered. Now, if she withholds from me, I definitely get triggered. I would not want to be married to me. Thank God and bless you, Mariam Bronner. I love you with all my heart. Allah has given me a wonderful and a very good beloved, and I thank Allah every day for her. Even when we're not getting along, I thank Allah for her, because I know I'm not easy. I met a man a couple years ago who was very much like me, had a very similar background as me. He was on his third marriage, and he was just starting to realize some of the things I'm now teaching you. So I feel very, very blessed to have found my life partner, and to be with her, and to be walking with her, and to have come as far as we have. So, alhamdulillah for that. And we were pretty much an arranged marriage. I'll tell that story sometime. We were friends, we were not dating. City suggested we could be beloveds, and we had a 36-hour courtship, and we got married. So not all of you know that story. I'll tell it at some point. But anyway, so when I come all the way, so if Mariam gives to me too deeply, it triggers deep pain in my heart, and places where I feel like I got deeply burned watching my parents battle and battle and battle. And my dad started having affairs when I was 3. And I can remember sitting on the steps at 6 a.m. watching him come home. And I scrambled into bed, but I knew he wasn't sleeping at home anymore. And so there's a pretty deep place in my heart where I don't believe that love works. And I'm not talking intellectually. Okay, intellectually, I believe in Allah, I believe in the love. But once you're married and you're in that deep walk-in together, most of what you're dealing with is subconscious. It's either pre-verbal or non-verbal. You're getting triggered on stuff you don't even know why. Okay, so here's my homework assignment for you. We're actually going to do it. I'll take 5 or 10 more minutes and do it right now. The next time you get triggered, and everyone here I hopefully knows what it means to be triggered, it is the deep desire to smash something. You want to yell, scream, grab, break. Okay, you are triggered. Or for whatever reason, you feel tight. You feel bound up. You don't feel free and open and easy. Okay, there's no shame in being triggered. It happens to me 20, 30, 40 times a day. Okay, it's called being human. So, the first step is to have some mercy for yourself. But to complete this exercise is the next time you get triggered, work it around, notice the other person's part, work it all the way around to you, and then ask the question, my beloved Lord, what is my part? Okay? When you ask that question, you bow your heart, you get very quiet, you wait for an answer to come to you, and then that is what you spend the majority of your time on. Okay, because as those pictures leave and clear, and it's 99% it's from the past. Okay, there'll be a surface layer now. Most of the time the universe is bringing stuff to you to trigger where you're still wounded, to clean it so you can be free of it. Okay, and that's a bigger topic. But find those pictures and voices, return them back to Allah, let Allah wash them, and inshallah, you'll know you really cleaned something when you feel gratitude for the present situation that triggered that deep pain. Okay, because without that thing happening, you wouldn't have found this peace and cleared it and be just a little bit closer to being completely in the unity with Allah. All right, shall we do it as a guided exercise? All right, let's do it. So put down your notebooks. Okay, I'll go over the steps when we're done. Okay, step 1, notice you're triggered. Hey, I'm triggered. Okay. Now, close your eyes, drop inside. Okay, what is the trigger? Who is it with? What is it you are feeling? Okay, this is a huge step for most people. I know in my case, I felt so judged and criticized for my feelings, I buried them at all costs. And I know even when Mariam and I got married, I had about a 3-day delay on my feelings. She'd say something Monday, and I'd be angry about it Thursday. Okay, I've pretty much wiped that delay away. Now, when something happens, I'm mad pretty much instantaneously. Okay, so drop inside, really give yourself a wide berth. Okay, what is it you're feeling? What are the emotions? What's the hurt, the pain, the upset? Good, let yourself breathe. Ya Allah al-Hayy, al-Qayyum, as-Salam, Allah, Allah. Allah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Good. For some of you, I want you to go a little bit deeper. Like, give yourself a little more freedom. Okay, you're a human being. It is natural to have emotions. Emotion stands for E-motion, energy in motion. Okay, emotions are meant to move. They're not meant to be frozen or stuck or held on to. Okay, if you freeze your emotions long enough, eventually you will get sick. Okay, astaghfirullah. I don't mean to say that like it's too strong a thought form, but I've worked with a couple thousand people. That's what I've noticed. Okay, that's it. That's it. Free yourself up. Okay, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be hurt. That's it. Bismillah. Allah. Allah. Good. Let it open. Ya Allah al-Hayy, al-Kareem, al-Basir. And open. And open. Al-Wadud. As-Salam. Al-Hafiz. Allah. Allah. Good. Bismillah. Bismillah. Okay, can you feel that? Can you feel the difference? Okay, you've got to really let it open before Allah can take it. Now, maybe not all of you, but that's my experience. You know, if I grip something too tightly, Allah might be trying to take it, I'm not letting it go. That's it. Let it open. All right, good. Now step 3. Okay, what is their part? Okay, your beloved, your children, your friend, your boss, your coworker, the world, God. Okay, if you're triggered with Allah, okay, that's fine. Okay, we have a relationship with Allah, just like anyone or anything else. Okay, so what's the other person or the other being's part? Okay, I know you know it, okay, but just name it. Okay, if you decide to go back through this class a second or a third time, I suggest have a notebook and write this stuff down for yourself. It really helps when you write it down. Good, really notice. Okay, step 4, this is the all-important question. This is the question that no one likes to ask because we want it to be about them. Okay, we feel good, we feel justified when it's about them, when it's their fault. When, blame, for whatever reason, blame is a comfortable place to be because we don't have to look at our side, we don't have to feel our pain. Bottom line is we don't have to be responsible or change. Took me years to get this. Years. Okay? I finally noticed that I was always at the scene of the crime. After like my 6th failed relationship, where I could have sworn it was always them, turned out it wasn't. It was partially them, but it was mostly me. So much freedom. So much freedom. You start naming your stuff, owning your stuff, the weight of the world comes off because now you can do something about it. All right, step 4. My beloved Lord, my beloved God, in your wisdom and in your mercy, what is my part, my Lord? That's it. Okay, really feel it. Now as you ask the question, open your heart, open your ears, really open your being. Open your being and let Allah give you the answer. Okay, some of you are going to see pictures. Some of you are going to hear words. Some of you are going to feel stuff. And some of you are just going to know. Allah. 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 Ya Allah al-Hayy, al-Kareem, al-Basir, al-Wadud, al-Jamal, al-Sabir, Allah. Okay, now one more step. My beloved Lord, my beloved God, please show me the picture or the memory that's getting triggered inside of me. Okay, now just wait. Okay, now I'm actually triggering myself. Okay, the door is open, so I'm getting some healing too. So I'm actually seeing the picture that gets triggered inside of me when Mariam is loving me and giving to me. And it's good, there's been a big roadblock in our marriage. Allah. Allah. Okay, now when you find the picture, okay, trust what you get. Okay, usually it comes 2 seconds. Okay, people struggle and fight. Usually the answer comes right away, but it's so obvious that people discount it. Okay, just trust what you get. Oh. Sorry to be processing on tape, but I've been needing to get this piece for a long time. Okay, in my case, I see a very old picture of my mom and dad fighting, and it's just something that happened between them. All right, good. So when you find your picture, see if you can locate it in the body. Mine's right deep in the heart, but it extends up through my neck and shoulders. That's why I was processing a little bit. Okay, a picture is a memory with mental or emotional charge. That's all it is. It's not hard to find. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have like a visual picture or just a kinesthetic feeling or a knowing. It doesn't matter. Okay, good. Trust what you get. Trust what you get. Okay, now at this moment, if you can, I want you to completely let go of the present situation. Okay, and that's not letting someone off the hook. That's not absolving them of responsibility. Okay, we're just no longer interested in the present day dynamic. Okay, when I got into this, what I wanted above all else, I wanted my healing. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to live a long life. I wanted to avoid my parents' fate. Okay, you've got to be a little bit selfish in your spiritual journey in a good way. In a good way, like when the door opens, you're going to take your chance. Siddhi says, my beloved, take your chance. Don't eat the apple in one bite, but eat the apple every day. Okay? Allow the love and the beauty of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, to cleanse your heart and your ego and your nafs and your soul, because you can do so much more on this side than you can do after you cross. Okay? It's the same walking. The path doesn't change, and I'll do a different class on what happens after we die in Sufi mythology or paradigm. But you can do so much more now instead of waiting till after. That's it. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Take your chance, my love. Take it. Okay, now when you find that picture, you find that memory, now breathe. And breathe. Ya Allah al-Hayy, al-Kareem, al-Basir, al-Wadud, as-Salam. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Wow, I'm getting a whopper of a healing. I should have done this years ago. Okay, good. Good. Now, once you have found the memory or the picture and you have connected with it or breathed into it or felt it, you're 90% done. Okay, it's the finding of pictures that people don't want to do or are unable to do. Okay, and if you're sitting there really stumped and frustrated because you're not finding anything, okay, just breathe into that. And what I want you to do is probably go back and do the class a second time. And I want you to do a healing on your frustration at not finding a picture. Because that in and of itself is a picture. Okay, when I first started this 18 years ago, I had no idea what the crazy lady at the front of the room was talking about. I say that with a lot of love. She was a great teacher. But I was clueless. I had never gone inside before. I'd never felt energy before. I mean, trust me, if I can do this work, anyone can do this work. I was not that talented. I was just persistent. Story of my life. All right. So now you found the picture. You found the memory. Okay. Now it's time to turn to our beloved Lord. I want you to imagine literally lifting that picture up and placing it in front of you. Put it on the altar at God's feet. Okay, really make this real. I know it sounds contrived. I know it sounds hokey. Allah sees everything. Okay, it says in the Quran that Allah sees the black ant behind the dark rock on the black hill in the middle of the night. Okay, Allah sees you. Allah knows you. In my experience, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to help you lift and wash away your pain. He really does. God is good. And believe it or not, I know it's hard to see when you're really in it, the universe is bringing things to you so you can walk. I do not believe in a punitive universe. Okay, I do believe in an objective mirroring universe. That's it. It will mirror back to you what lessons you still have to walk through. That's it. Allahu Akbar. Good. So place your picture, place your memory on a made-up altar at God's feet. Okay, now what's really crucial here, at this point of the healing, you want to go into neutral mode and let Allah, let the love and the light of our Creator be the doer. Okay, you really want to let Allah be the active force at this point. That's it. Drop into neutral. Drop into neutral. Okay, I'm sure some of you are pretty convinced nothing's going to happen if you don't do it. That's it. Turn the entire healing over to Allah. Oh my God, I am so ready for this picture to be done. Whew. Had no idea I was going to be doing a self-healing as well. We got about 6 things going on right now. Okay, turn it over to Allah. Over to Allah. Okay, now we want to say the name right into the picture, right into the memory, and let Allah do the rest. Allah, 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 Allah. Allah, 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 Allah.